Hey loves, it's Britt, and in this video, I'm going to talk about what it means to have your moon trine or sextile to someone's moon in Synastry. And I would even go as far as to say when you have your moon in a compatible element with someone, meaning like fire, fire, or fire to air, or earth, earth, water to water, or earth and water, trine or sextile, right? You really can just easily understand each other at a deep level without needing much explanation. And it's not hard to relate to each other emotionally. Now, this is going to be way more powerful when we have the actual trine or the sextile aspect occurring in synastry. The trine aspect is way more powerful in this case, but the sextile aspect can also be very good and is very um, enlightening to the emotions. It's very enlivening. That's the word I was looking for, to the emotions. So, this aspect just basically means at the deep level of moon. So, our childhood, our inner feminine, our unconscious emotional energy, we're very similar. We're not identical, but we're similar enough that emotionally we understand each other. It's not hard to understand someone's motivations when you have moon and trine or sextile with their moon. It's actually very easy and almost even like cute, or it's like when they emotionally react to something, you might not be feeling it the exact same way, but you understand it. Versus when we have moon square or in conjunct to moon in synastry, sometimes they emotionally react and you're thinking, how are you even emotional about that? Like, you just don't get it, right? In this case, you do get it, and it's almost like cute or amusing, like a dear friend or brother type of energy with moon trine or sextile moon. Now, this aspect, it really does create a positive energy between two people. It can feel really safe. You can end up emotionally sharing a lot, sharing your heart, sharing your fears, and just there's a lot of emotional vulnerability that just comes out very easily and naturally without any force. It can feel like you have found the one, and they just might be, but they also might not be, depending on the rest of the synastry. You could have moon harmony like this with a very incompatible synastry. And then you're emotionally sharing and feeling so connected and feeling so close, but there isn't enough other compatibility. And unfortunately, this aspect, moon trine or sextile moon, although it's great, it's not a main indicator of compatibility. It's not strong enough. Um, Even moon conjunct moon, as great as it is, and people talk about it as like the holy grail of like romantic aspects, it's not enough because the moon is just one part of us. Yes, it's like the deepest part of us, the moon, the fourth house, these are very emotional, um, like deep inner child parts of us, right? But it doesn't necessarily reflect what we want in love. Venus, how we act, Mars, where we're going in life, Sun, how we communicate, Mercury. Like, I've seen it and I've done it, actually. I've done it where you get this aspect, moon trine or sextile moon, and it's a complete shit show of synastry elsewhere, but you just feel really good with them and you feel like this is it, this is the one, and you emotionally share maybe too much. You look back and think, oh my god, how was I so open with that person? So this aspect, well, it's great, it doesn't have the power to overcome a really difficult synastry otherwise, or a really difficult composite chart otherwise. It may feel like it could, but it can't. That's my message. Um, but that's just my like disclaimer with this aspect, because I know when you get this aspect, it's like you feel very excited because it does feel like you've met your match. And if you have really strong aspects, more conjunctions, things showing compatibility in the synastry, then this aspect is like, oh my God, you can live together so peacefully with this aspect. You can understand each other at such a deep level. This is a soulmate aspect. It definitely can be an amazing relationship, and it really does show like a deep harmony and almost like serenity together, like serenity now. um, so it can be a really good thing. And yeah, it can't overpower other incompatibility is all I'm saying. And it can emotionally, because it's such an emotional aspect, you can feel like it can. Um, but yeah, the main theme of this relationship is emotions and connection there on that level. That is really a big part of it. And another part of it is like both of your feminine sides are out. So it is like, even like, let's say you're in a relationship with a man who is not particularly emotional, or vice versa. It could be the other way too. But then in this relationship, you do get him sharing some of his emotions. He's comfortable enough to share that part of himself. So it can be a really good aspect for opening up vulnerabilities and having like a safe space to share them. It would be really good in like even a relationship like therapist to client, or counselor to client, astrologer to client, healer to client, because it really opens up the emotional field in a harmonious way. Like, you can feel safe to share because this person is similar to you. And it can be very helpful to have that feeling of safety and harmony. And yeah, if you do live together, there's more agreement, unless you've got other really bad stuff going on that's hard, but there's more agreement about domestic things, how you want the home to be, how you want to raise children. And like, there could be other difficult things that would show this isn't there, but for the most part, harmony at the moon level, it can show that you're not getting in each other's way to derive emotional satisfaction from life. In fact, you're actually encouraging each other to become more emotionally fulfilled and satisfied. And by being with each other, you allow each other to find more avenues of emotional fulfillment. So that's really nice. And yeah, the trine aspect is so inborn that you almost don't even notice it, but you don't tend to be in disagreement about emotional things. The sextile is, like I said, more active, more awakening, enlivening to the emotions. You can sense you're with someone who's like a little bit different, but it's exciting and it's harmonious and it works. So they're both great. What else? There is, the saying that the moon sign in a man's chart shows his image of wife. So on that account, man's moon trine or sextile to woman's moon, it does show that she fits his image, right? You do want to have man's moon aspected in synastry for it to be successful in a long-term marriage sense. So this aspect would show that. And the moon sign in a woman's chart, and I mean, you could identify as either, right? Like, don't be mad at me about that. You could be woman identifying as man, and that's still going to apply, right? But in a woman's chart, the moon is how you nurture yourself and others. So for her, she can feel really like accepted in her mother or wife role, the way that she does those things, because every woman mothers or nurtures a little bit different. So when we have moon trine or sextile moon, we've got woman feeling seen in her wife qualities, and we've got man feeling like he's found a good match for him as far as in the wife sense. So yeah, that's my interpretation of this aspect. I'd love to know if you have this aspect or you've had this aspect. Was it like this? Was it not like this? Let me know in the comments. And thanks for the requests, you guys. Keep them coming, and we'll talk soon. Bye.